Well, guys, we've made it 6 months. Can you believe 6 months you've been having to listen to me ramble on and on and on about weight loss and about all the things? 6 months. And I am here today to share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if I would do it again. So, welcome. If you are new here, I am Cheryl. So thrilled to have you here. To all of my fantabulous sunshiny friends who are returning, thank you all so much for being here. So, yeah, really quick. I'm sorry if I am looking down. I did write this out. I don't often script what I'm going to say, but there's a lot I wanted to cover today, so I do have some notes written out. So I apologize for that in advance. So guys, I've made it 6 months. It kind of feels like yesterday that I was sitting at a union meeting and I got a text message that my medication was ready. And yeah, so I just want to recap as quickly as possible if anyone has not been here since the beginning. And if you haven't, I'll give you a super quick recap right now. But go back into my playlist and you guys can watch the whole thing unfold from the very beginning. So last summer, I went to my doctor, and this was actually a new doctor. My doctor had retired, a new doctor had taken over, and they had been calling me, sending me letters for over a year saying, like, you really need to come in, meet the new doctor. I don't go to the doctors. So long story short, I go to the doctor last summer, and it was more of like a meet and greet, and she was kind of like, it was the first time we had ever met. Is there anything that like you need to talk about or that I should be aware of? And I had said to her that I had been struggling with my weight my whole life. Look at my chart, pretty apparent. And I wanted to do something about it. So obviously, as a physician, first thing that she needs to do is labs. So that was last July. So she did my labs. She called me and she said, some things are looking a little out of sorts with your kidneys. I'm sending you for an ultrasound. So I go for the ultrasound and wasn't thinking anything of it at all. But while doing the ultrasound, I pretty quickly realized that something was up when she called in somebody else and they were pointing at some things and doing some things. And I didn't really know what to expect. Not at all what I was thinking. When my doctor called me and told me, and I want to say we're into October now, that I had CKD. And I was like, what is that? I don't even know what you're talking about. So I have chronic kidney disease, stage 3A. And she was very nonchalant about it. I was kind of freaking out about it. Long story short, I am fine. If I can keep my stage 3A CKD at 3A for the rest of my life, things are good. If they progress, they get worse, 3B, stage 4, kidney failure. So that's what we're trying to avoid, right? So she prescribed some medication, and I don't remember exactly, but I want to say it was maybe Saxenda and then Trulicity, both which were denied by Blue Cross. Keep going, months go on. I'm kind of panicking a little bit now. I'm talking to her. In my research, now I come across all of these GLP-1s that are helpful. So Wegovy being a GLP-1, I'm not 100% sure with the Trulicity and the Saxenda, if they're only GLPs or what the situation was. But anyway, she decided to prescribe the Wegovy. This gets approved by Blue Cross, not for my CKD, but because my BMI was 35 maybe. I'd have to go back and check. Maybe 42. My BMI was high enough to be considered obese. So it was covered for obesity, not for the CKD, which is what we were looking for it for originally, okay? Stay with me. So long story short, She puts the Wegovy in, can't find Wegovy anywhere. Now I keep doing all the research. I keep looking, blah, 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 blah. I realize there's a nationwide shortage of this Wegovy back in October of last year. This was 2023. So months go on and I'm getting more and more anxious. And she ends up, I start calling pharmacies and they're basically telling me there's no Wegovy, but you may be able to get something else, Zepbound. So I call my doctor again. She says, yep, that's great. If you can find it, I'll prescribe it. So I call, I find Zepbound at Walmart near me. My doctor switches the Wegovy to Zepbound. A couple of days later, I'm at a meeting. It's nighttime, 7:30. I get a text message, my Wegovy's in. I leave the meeting. As soon as it's over, go right to Walmart, pick up my medication, come home, and shoot myself with Zepbound, which was then 2.5 milligrams. This is what it looks like. It comes in a shot. This comes off. You place there's a needle in here. You place that on your skin. You press this button here, and you hear 2 clicks. Medication goes in. You do it in your arm, your thigh, or your stomach. Easy peasy. So it wasn't until then that I started researching exactly what GLP-1s are and how they can actually help with weight loss. Because remember, I go in talking about weight loss, we discover CKD, I kind of freak out. All I care about now is my kidneys, kind of put the whole weight loss thing on hold. In the last 6 months, weight loss has become kind of the prevalent, number one thing going on here. And CKD has taken the back door because she has calmed me down off the ledge. It's not as concerning as I thought it was in the beginning, as long as we keep it here at 3A. If we keep it here with the help of my friend, I should be okay. And obviously, if you're obese and you're losing weight and you get to a healthier BMI, all other things are going to help you be more healthy, right? So that is where we are now. I had blood work in July of this year. My CKD is exactly where it should be, staying at 3A. If anybody knows anything about kidney disease, you don't go backwards. I won't go back to a stage 3, 2, that won't happen. 3A is where I am, and that's where I'm going to continue, hopefully. So just for the record, there was 2 studies about GLP-1s, Zepbound specifically. There is a study still going on about Zepbound and CKD. That study is probably another year or so in the works, but it is showing great things. There was a previous study, and I'm not sure which medication it was, but it was GLPs and CKD, and it just started to show, this is what we're saying, and the study was showing the exact same thing. And to save money, they just ended the study. I don't exactly know why, but there is still one study actively being done. So hopefully within the next year or so, these medications will also be approved through insurance for CKD, okay? So 6 months, we have now been on this medication, keeping our CKD in check and losing weight. So to date, the good, my CKD in check. Thank you very much to my little friend. My CKD is exactly where it should be. And we have lost 41 pounds. Now, 6 months, 41 pounds might not sound like a whole big number to some of you, but let me just be here to tell you that it is, in fact, excellent. It is a fabulous number. My doctor is thrilled with it. The dietitian that I saw was thrilled with it. So at 41 pounds over 6 months, that is 6.8 pounds a month or 1.5 pounds a week. And if you do the research and you look, most doctors, dietitians, nutritionists, weight loss people, they will all tell you that 1 to 2 pounds a week is where, that's the perfect little area, because if you're losing too much weight too quickly, it's just not going to stay off. It's just not realistic. If you're losing slowly, there's a better chance that you're losing less muscle mass and you're losing actual fat. And that's what we want. I want to lose as much fat as I can and retain as much muscle as I can. Now, I am not very muscular. I'm working on that. That is a whole other thing that I'm working through. So the good, we are down 41 pounds. CKD is in check. I am feeling stronger and better every day. Now, part of the bad is not to do with the medication, but I have had several surgeries in the past 5 years. I have had a hysterectomy. I've had a hernia surgery because of the hysterectomy. And most recently, 2.5, 3 years ago, I had ankle reconstruction on my right ankle, completely reconstructed, all the ligaments, tendons. There's things in there that will be in there forever. And then last August, so just over a year ago, I had complete ACL on my left knee. So 2 different sides of my body. Extremities have been severely damaged and a lot of therapy and all the things. So unfortunately, in the ankle, I will never regain full use. So I don't have full use of the ankle. I can walk, I can do all the things. It swells very easily. There's nerve damage. It's a whole thing. So exercise has been really, really tricky. And I have to be very careful because the littlest thing and I can set myself really far back. So, but I have been walking. My girlfriend can call, we can go to the track. I can walk, I can do like 1.5 miles without any major issues. When I get tired, we stop. If it starts to hurt or swell, I stop. I purchased a bike. I've been doing that as often as I can. I am trying to begin resistance training. It's been a lot. So that's kind of the bad, is that you do still need to do the work, right? This isn't easy peasy, everything's just great. That's just not how it works. But the medication helps you begin to lose weight, begin to get your brain in check, and begin to be able to do the things that you need to do. So as far as it being bad, I'm saying that it's bad because I'm still not quite there yet, but it's actually really part of the good, is that the medication starts to help you be able to do these things. So I feel great as far as water. I feel great as far as being able to do way more than I could 6 months ago. And one of the biggest things that I'm able to do now, which is extremely embarrassing, but I am quite sure that some of you will understand, when you get to a certain size and things stop moving the way that they should, little things become extremely difficult. Going up and down the stairs, like, I don't want to go do another load of laundry because I got to go up and down 2 more times. Like, I don't want to do it. I could not get on the floor. If something fell, I could not get on my hands and knees. I can't do the baseboards. Like, those types of things have been really difficult in the past 3 years, especially with these past 2 injuries. So it was already starting to get tricky, but then the injuries really antagonized everything. So then putting more weight on during those surgeries was just, the trifecta. My grandson was born in April and I was freaking out. I was like, I'm going to be the worst grandmother in the world. I'm not going to be able to do anything. Well, since February, I have lost the 40 pounds. And while we're not done yet, things have changed so dramatically. I was babysitting 2 months ago. I was at their house and he's all over the place now. Well, he's not crawling or anything, but he lays on his little mat and he's playing and he's rolling over and he's doing all the things. But I want to play with him, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try. And I got on the ground Guys, I can get on the ground and play with Rowan on the ground, and then takes a second. I got to get myself up carefully, but I can get up. So I can get on the floor and I can play with my grandson. And I don't know that anybody, unless you've been there, can fully understand the weight of that. No pun intended. But it was crazy to me. I was really, really scared that I wasn't going to be able to do things with him. And I can. And it's just the most unbelievable feeling. And it's because of this medication. And yeah, I'm doing the freaking work. I'm eating all the protein. I'm getting exercise in as often as I can. I'm watching what I eat. I'm being more conscious of the food that goes in my mouth. But it's because of this that I'm able to do that. If you go and you watch my video, Why Are GLP-1s Different? I will show you dozens of reasons of things that I have tried unsuccessfully in the past. This gave me the mindset to do it differently this time. I have never done something for 6 months in my life to improve my health. I don't think I've even done anything for 6 days. So this has been huge, 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 huge. The bad is that in order to stay and be successful, this is a lifetime commitment. So my doctor and I have already talked, and she said 100%, I will need to take this for the rest of my life. That being said, I can't guarantee that insurance will cover it for the rest of my life. Once your BMI goes under, I want to say 27, but I might be wrong. Once your BMI is overweight and not obese, then this is no longer covered for obesity management. Hopefully by the time we get there, it will be covered for something else. So I also suffer from PCOS, which this medication does really great things for as well. So maybe it will be covered for that. Maybe by then it will be covered for the CKD, because in reality, I need this medication to stay at stage 3 for the rest of my life, but it needs to be covered. And right now, there is not a GLP or a GLP-1 medication covered by insurance for CKD because those studies are not completed yet. So this is what I would need forever. And with the medication come side effects. And the side effects can be really tricky. If you go and watch Monday's video, last week sucked. It was awful. The nausea was terrible. And that hasn't been the case for the past 25, 26 weeks. It was the case last week. So there's really no rhyme or reason to the medication, which means I could be suffering from sporadic bouts of nausea or any number of other side effects for the rest of my life. So that's a lot to process as well. I don't really know, where to go there. And then you also have the main side effects that most people run into with these medications is constipation. So I have been taking Benefiber to alleviate that situation and kind of stay on top of it. So that would mean I would also need to be taking these for the rest of my life. And, I know, okay, some side effects, blah, 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 but this is also a cost. So right now I am covered by insurance, but I am paying a $30 copay. These are $13 to $15 a month. So that's $45 right there. And then I'm taking Nauzene for the nausea, or Zofran from my doctor. So that's another $5 to $10 a month right there. So there's a lot. I use drip drop electrolytes, sometimes once a day, maybe a little bit less. I put it in my water because it has magnesium in it. Magnesium helps with constipation, with sleeping, with, some of the things that are caused by the side effects of the medication. Those are $10 a week. So, there's a lot of other costs that would be lifelong at this point. So, you know, that's kind of the bad part of it. But, you know, all of these things, you know, you kind of give one, it's a give and take, right? I don't want to be obese. I don't want to be unable to be mobile. I don't want to die of a heart attack. I don't want to die of kidney failure. I want to be here for my family. I want to be the best mother, wife, and mima or grandma or whatever he decides to call me that I can possibly be. And I know I could not do that 40 pounds ago. I was not. And when I look back at the pictures, it's kind of crazy to me. And I will put those in right here. So the green shirt is my first day, came home from that meeting, got my shot, gave myself a shot, and took those pictures. So the green shirt was the first night, February 27th. I can still wear that shirt, which is frustrating to me. When I put it on, I was like, okay, big freaking deal. And then I did the side by side. So I will tell anybody who is just starting this journey, I hate pictures. We all hate pictures, right? We get into this position in our life. Pictures are the worst. Nobody wants to take a picture, right? Take the picture. I just keep mine on my phone. Occasionally I show them to you guys because that is how much I love you. I don't show them to anybody else. It's kind of weird. Most of my family and immediate friends, except for a couple, don't watch this channel. It doesn't have anything to do with their life. And that's fine. And I know that, so I can share more, because for some reason, sharing this journey with the people closest to us is harder than sharing it with perfect strangers. But I share these pictures with you to show and encourage you, because I look in the mirror and I don't always see what people are saying or what people say that they see. And when I do the comparisons, I have a video coming out, I think next week, where I tried to clean out my closet. And guys, let me tell you, it was the hardest thing I've ever tried to do. The fear of letting go of clothes was like nothing I've ever experienced. Putting on some clothes, so that gray dress that you saw me in, I wore that in November to the November before. So just before I started, so when I was going through the process trying to find the medication, I wore that dress to Nashville to a banquet that my son was honored with a award from NASCAR. And when I saw those pictures, it brought me to tears. I looked so awful. I was so hard on myself looking at those pictures. And then I tried those clothes on the other day and the dress fit. And I was devastated, beyond devastated that dress fit. So I took a picture. And now I looked at the pictures and there's a noticeable difference, but I was so hard on myself that the dress still fit. And obviously I hadn't lost enough weight, and it was hard. But I put those pictures in here to show you there is a difference. And I think you can see the difference even in my face with the way that I carry myself. I was out yesterday, and this is, I think I've said this in a few other videos where people have kind of mentioned that, you know, I look different. And I ran into someone that I saw at a funeral a few months ago, but, you know, on the other side of the room, and just kind of acknowledged, you know, because we were all there for a funeral. And I saw this person last night, and this was someone that I grew up around the same time with. You know, we had like our families intertwined a little bit. We weren't friends per se, but I knew this person. I've known this person since I was a child, and haven't really seen or spoken to in 20 years. And we ran into each other and he was talking and he said, well, you haven't changed a bit. And I was like, yeah, okay. And he said, no, seriously, you really haven't. And I was like, well, that's having kids and, being a grandma now, we're all active. And we continued talking to another friend of ours. And a couple of minutes later, he looked at me and he said, no, seriously. He said, you look really good. And it stuck with me all the past 24 hours because, when it's coming from people that and that know that you're on a journey, I don't know, I guess it just doesn't mean as much, but it really, it's choking me up now because, sorry. This medication has really given me back my life. Hopefully it keeps my kidneys in check and keeps me healthy in that regard, for another 40 years. And it keeps me healthy and at a healthy BMI where I'm able to continue to go on vacations with my family, where I'm able to get on the floor and play with my grandkids, where I'm able to do all the things that I want to be able to do. Sorry, I don't know why that really, really choked me up for some reason. I think it's hard to accept the changes and accept that we're doing okay. So I just want all of you to know that you can do it too. Trust me, if I can do it, I have tried everything. Go back and watch that video. It's pretty comical. I have tried everything. This is different. This gives us the tools that we truly do need to make the changes so that we can live the life we want and live the life that we will love. And I am just so absolutely grateful for my doctor, for Eli Lilly, for Zepbound, for each and every one of you. I don't think I would be able to have done what I have done in the past 6 months without you. I love your encouragement. I need your encouragement. Your support, your kindness means so much to me. And I know without a doubt that there is no possible way that I would have survived these last 6 months without you. So I just want all of you to know, yes, 100% I would do this again. And I would recommend to anyone who is struggling with their BMI. And just remember, I am not a doctor. I do not pretend to play one on your screens. Please consult a healthcare professional before making any decisions. Look at your BMI. And my doctor has told me multiple times, the BMI is what she's concerned about. She doesn't care what I weigh. She doesn't care about the little chart that says, you should weigh 121 pounds. That she doesn't give a crap about that. She cares about the BMI. She wants me at a healthy BMI. If I get 1 point under that BMI, she will be beyond thrilled. And so will I, to be honest with you. And that's why I have told you numerous times, I have not set a goal as far as a number on the scale. I don't give a crap about the number on the scale. I care about how I feel. If this was all that God is going to give me as far as my weight loss, would it be a little disappointing? Yes. But would I be okay? I would, because I feel 100 times better than I did 6 months ago. Would I like to feel 100 times better than I do right now? Absolutely. Who wouldn't? But, only time will tell. So yes, I would do it again. Yes, I would recommend it to anyone who is considering it if you need it for your health. Would I consider it for someone who's 10 pounds overweight? No, I would not. But I would 100% consider this medication. And I personally would do it again. I don't know if I covered all of the good, bad, and the ugly that I was intending to, because I started reading the first paragraph that I had written out and then I just went off on my own little tangent. So I am sure that we will meet again real soon. If you are new here and you got anything out of this video, I would love it if you would go and subscribe. My playlist is also, I will link down below, right from the very beginning, and all of the trials and tribulations along the way. To all of my fantabulous crew of sunshiny friends, I love you. I adore you. I thank you all for your love, your support, your encouragement. And just remember, everybody, when you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. Bye.